Well, hello everybody. This is Cloris Kylie, and welcome to a new episode of the Beyond Influence series, where we feature entrepreneurs who are making a difference, who are passionate about what they do, and who really, making a positive impact in the lives of others. And when I think about that, there's nobody better to think of than Dale Troy. So Dale is really helping young people get to the next stage in their lives, in their academic career. So she's going to talk about what she does, what it takes, and what really can help your child achieve success in college and beyond. So I'm going to tell you the official background of Dale Troy. And Dale is a mom to 3 Yale College graduates and a Yale College and Yale Law School graduate herself. She helps college students succeed in college starting in freshman year by teaching them the most important skills for academic and social success. Dale believes all students can succeed in college if they are prepared, and that the 30% dropout rate for freshmen is unacceptable. Dale has been spreading her message through appearances on podcasts, summits, Facebook Lives, and with guest blog posts. And she's bringing her guide to learn 6 secrets to a successful first year of college at crushcollegestress.org/6secrets. So I'm excited about the secrets too, but welcome, Dale.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, it's wonderful. So my first question for you is, why be so passionate about this, right? Why did you decide to start this business?
Well, honestly, it goes back to my own college experience. I felt very stressed in college, even though that was not a word that people used at the time. And it created all sorts of physical problems for me, migraines and stomach aches, and kind of just generally not feeling well all the time. And I went to all sorts of doctors. Nobody knew what was happening and nobody could really help me. So I realized that, there was something more, but I didn't really know what to do about it. Fast forward, and I had my 3 daughters going to college. I was concerned that they might experience the same thing, especially since they were going to the same college that I went to. And I was, really observing them and their own friends and so forth, and saw that everyone was stressed. It wasn't like my experience was just me. I didn't hear about anybody else, but their experience was everyone talking about stress, depression, anxiety, suicide, and so forth. And I just felt like there's some gap there. Why people are so excited to get to college and they make so much of an effort to get to the right college, and then they get there and a lot of them fall apart or really have a bad experience and 30% drop out. And that just didn't feel good. So I wanted to do something about it.
That is wonderful. So would you say that, they say that people don't know what they don't know. Would you say that there are a lot of students out there who feel this stress, but they maybe assume that it comes with the territory, or they don't even identify their education and their college experience as a source of stress?
I think that's exactly right. I think parents as well as students, they think that college is supposed to be stressful and that's just okay and you're just gonna live with it. But I don't think that's true. I think there's so many different things that you can do to reduce your stress. And a lot of it really revolves around not being prepared to function on your own in college. The way that we've been parenting, including myself, the way that we've been parenting is, the traditional helicopter parent term, where we're doing so much for our kids and we don't want them to have problems, and we're guiding them too much that when they're let go on a college campus, they don't know, they get overwhelmed and they don't know how to function really very well.
Yeah. Now, would you say, because some parents might say, well, it's just part of life. Now you're on your own, you have to figure it out. Have you compared the results of somebody who gets help and manages stress early on compared to somebody who basically just is thrown into the fire there and has to figure it out?
Well, I haven't myself done any comparison, but I will say that a lot of the calls I get are from students who are sophomores or juniors. So they've already struggled in freshman year. Maybe their grades were poor, maybe they just felt bad about themselves because they weren't doing well. They didn't have friends or they didn't feel like they fit in. And then finally, as a sophomore, their parents are realizing that they need to do something. And then I get that call. So I would prefer to not have someone struggle as a freshman and, really start off on a good foot.
Yeah, exactly. Would you say the best time to start is a freshman year in college or even earlier?
I guess ideally, I would love to work with more students who right before they go into their freshman year, that summer before, because at that point in time, they're thinking about what college will be like. And if they start working on the skills that I teach them, they will be more successful. But definitely as a freshman, I work with a lot of kids who are in their freshman year, and then they're able to implement what I'm telling them, and they're able to see how it works and why they're doing better with those, with the new skills.
That is awesome. So I'm wondering, since these students are so busy, right? They have all these tests and projects and so forth, and you come to them and say, "Oh, I'm going to give you some things to do so you can eliminate the stress." Do you see resistance from them to actually implement this? And if not, do you experience resistance maybe from their families to change things around a little bit?
Well, I talk to parents, so the parents are the ones coming to me rather than the students. I haven't focused on going directly to students at this point. So the parents are all in. So I have to me, we have a conversation and I decide whether I can help their child. If they say yes, then I talk to the child, make sure the child's okay with it. I have not had any resistance. I will say that at that point that they're coming to me, they know that they need help. They know that they're struggling. And everything that, the time that I spend with them, it's very practical. So I might be going through what their homework is, or, what they need to get done for that week, or, how to write a letter to a professor to ask a question. I mean, it's very practical. It's not just some theoretical thing. So they see the value of it, and that hasn't been an issue at all.
Well, yeah,
Thankfully.
it does. Yeah. It brings me back to my years, working with high school and college students, and they were just so motivated. They wanted to succeed. So because it was so important to them, they were more than happy to do whatever it took to be successful.
Right.
So now you mentioned that you do some practical things with the students. Just walk me through, a typical situation of a student in their freshman year. What would be the first step to get started and work with them?
The first thing I do is I want to see where they're at. I actually have a questionnaire that kind of goes through a variety of different aspects of their college life, studying and what they're eating and how they're sleeping and what they're involved in. And I kind of try to figure out where they're getting stuck, what the issues really are. And they'll also tell me, we'll have a conversation about it. And they generally know that, like they're not keeping up with their work, but they're not really sure why. So then we have to break it down into, what are the really issues, what's really going on. So once we figured that out, I'm going to focus first on whatever that root cause is of the problem. But I'm kind of throwing in a lot of other tools and suggesting things along the way so that they, they're going to come out on the other end even better than they expect. Yeah. We're like, for instance, I'm going to say, well, how much water are you drinking? Because a lot of kids don't drink enough water. And then that just creates a lot of problems in their whole body, and how they feel, headaches and so forth. So, I work, there are really 5 main areas that I kind of touch on, but I can go into more depth depending on what a student really needs. So I can, tailor it to their own needs.
Exactly. Now, those 5 main areas are what?
They are, number 1 is setting goals, having, like a vision for the year. The second one is time management, how to prioritize your time and how to organize. The third is developing a network of support on your college campus, so you know who to go to and you have help and you feel connected to your college. The fourth is daily healthy habits. That includes healthy eating, good sleep, exercise, and drinking water. And the fifth one is how to manage stress, all sorts of different tools. And I get them to incorporate at least one daily stress reducing activity.
I love that. So it goes,
Yeah,
it focuses on a holistic, I guess, approach to managing their college responsibilities and to having a fun and happy life. Yeah, I love that.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that you work with students, let's say, for example, you do start working with them in their freshman year, they gain these skills that are life skills, really, and then they don't need your support that much, or do you go along with them through the entire college career?
So far, the students I've worked with have, at some point in time, they stop working with me. And then I still touch base with them because during my, working with them period of time, I'm always texting them. We text back and forth. So we develop like a really nice relationship. So I periodically will text one of my older students and say, how's it going? Are you still meditating? Or, are you still eating well? What's happening? So I hear from them, but I haven't had anybody come back to me saying, I need more help. I mean, that could certainly happen. I'm totally open to that for sure.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
because I feel that's why that, you gain the skills, you know how to manage your workload and to create relationships and all that stuff to seek the help you need. And then it becomes a lot easier because you know what to do. So
Right.
yeah, that's great. So what about the role of the parents in all of this? Because yes, you're working with the students very closely. How can they help their kids? So, it's not just you doing all the work, but, they're also supporting their child.
Well, two things. One is I have a Facebook group specifically for parents where I talk a lot about these issues. So I'd love the parents to join that group so they get some additional information. I also have an email list that I send out to parents once a week on all these kinds of topics. So those are two ways they can get information. In addition, some parents want me to give them feedback on what I'm working with their child, and others really don't want me to. So I accommodate whatever they want. So I feel like if they want to be more involved, they can.
Yeah.
If they don't, that's fine too.
Okay. So tell us the name of your Facebook group, please, Dale. Of course, we have a link underneath this video, but just mention the name of the group.
It's called College Parent Support Community.
I love that, College Parent Support Community. And then to get your email updates, they might as well get the 6 secrets for college success, right?
Right. If they opt into that, they'll automatically be on the email list and they'll be getting, once a week emails from me.
That's perfect. Yeah. So it's at crushcollegestress.org/6 secrets, but we'll have a link underneath this video as well. So, okay. So that's great. So now what I'd like to know is, yes, you're working with the students. Have you experienced a student who, regardless of applying these strategies, still struggle? Like there was something else that was happening that you had to take that extra step?
Yeah, actually I had two experiences, one this summer and one a couple of years ago. So this couple of years ago, I was working with a girl from University of Pennsylvania. And she was mainly having stress and she was having panic attacks. We did all sorts of things and she was doing really, really well. She stopped having panic attacks. She was eating better. She was exercising, things that she hadn't been doing before. But she still was having an issue with test taking and not doing well on tests. And I think she was really frustrated with it. And it was just creating so much anxiety that I said to her, maybe you should talk to a therapist. And so she actually ended up, after we finished, to start working with a therapist. So I can, I'm not a therapist and I'm make that really clear. And what I did with her was definitely helpful, but it didn't totally solve the problem that she was having.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think the benefit of having you was the fact that somebody was there to tell her maybe you should seek additional help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if she had been all on her own, who knows what would have happened? You know, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do? Like I have no choice. I have no solution for my problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or she might have been resistant to going to a therapist. She might have thought that, I'm fine. I don't need a
Yeah.
therapist. Like, that there's still like kind of a negative connotation about their therapy.
True.
So yes. Yeah. So me telling her and then her parents as well, she agreed to do that. The summer was kind of a very sad situation. I worked with someone like right before he was going to college, but the parents didn't know about me until literally like 2 weeks before he was supposed to go to college. And then they knew he was anxious. So I did my 5-step program in 5 days, 5 days straight, instead of over 5 weeks. And it was great. He accepted everything, but he got to the day to move into college, he would not get out of the car. And his mom called me from there. I talked to the boy on the phone. I got him out of the car into the room to start unpacking, but he just really wasn't ready to be away from his family. And he was just had way too much anxiety. And that obviously that was not going to be solved in 5 days of working with him. So he's now doing college from home and working with a therapist.
Yeah.
So, I don't, I definitely don't want people to think that I'm a therapist and I'm going to cure a problem that's been going on for years, because that's just not the situation.
Yeah.
But for really any student can find this information valuable. It doesn't matter, where they are in their college process. It's just kind of basic information that most kids don't have.
That's true. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking as a parent, the best thing you can do is to get your child support early enough so you can, lay down the path for success, not wait until the last minute when sometimes it's too late. And that's okay. You can wait a
Yeah.
little longer to go to college. But yeah, it's better sooner rather than later.
Yes. Sooner is definitely always better. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Actually, it just reminded me, I had another mom call me recently. She signed up her son to do my program this summer before freshman year, and he refused to do it. So that was a refusal. And she called me like just recently and said, I wish I had made him do it because he's not doing well. And, so now she's trying to like fill in the gaps and figure out what to do. And it's much more difficult once he's been there for 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it's been.
There you go. I mean, the more you wait, then the more these problems accumulate. So then if we're talking to somebody who's watching this and they have a child who is going to college soon, or who is in college, or you are going to college, right? And you're watching this, what is one thing they can do to at least help themselves succeed?
Okay. I think the key skill that is missing for students is the time management skill. And that really affects everything. So I always want to make sure that they have that down. And the first thing is they have to use, I'm sounding like very stern like a teacher, but they have to use a planner. They have to use a paper planner. They have to write down everything that needs to be done so that they don't miss any appointments, don't miss any homework. And the other aspect of the planning is I have something that is like it's a priority sheet, and it has 3 columns. The one on the left is must do, the one in the middle is should do, and the one on the right is can do. And that is like it's a to-do list that you keep all the time. So anytime something comes up and you say, oh, I guess I'm going to need to go do my laundry. Now, which column should that be in? That could be in the can do. That doesn't have to be done right now. On the other hand, you get a new homework assignment and it's due in 2 days. You got to put that in the must do column. And then you take that to-do list and you transfer all of that onto your planner and figure out when in the day you're going to do it. You know, are you going to do it before your class or at night or whatever, but you have to really look at your planner with the actual times of everything that happens in the day and fit it in.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're basically learning how to prioritize early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Is that one of the secrets you have in the 6 secrets?
That is, but I don't include the my little worksheet. But when you're in my class, you get my worksheet. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have a link to that so you can download it and learn more about what it takes to be successful in college.
Mm-hmm.
So Dale, we don't have a lot of time left. So I do have one more question for you. What if we want to get in touch with you directly? How do we do that? How do we connect with you?
Well, probably the easiest thing is to go to my website, which is stress.com. And there's a contact page there. And again, if you download the freebie, which is in the notes, that will also get you on my email list and so forth. But if you go on my website, you can also schedule a complimentary call to discuss your child and see whether I might be able to support them.
Definitely. Okay, that's great. And then the second question is, you're a business owner, you're growing your business, helping people. We've gone through tough times, the whole world recently. But I feel like entrepreneurs, we have extra challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that adds up. You help people reduce stress. What do you do in your own life to overcome challenges and to keep going?
I think I go back to my number one step in my process, which is goal setting and having a vision. So I'm always reminding myself, why am I doing this? What is my big reason? Why do I care about this? I really do. I feel it in my stomach when I think about kids struggling on a college campus, and I really want to change that. So even, so when I'm having some challenge in my business, I'll remind myself that, what I'm doing, I've helped so many kids already and I'm just beginning. So I just want to help more kids and I have to keep going.
That's right. It's that burning desire that makes you
Yeah.
just keep going no matter what. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Well, this was great, Dale. It's fantastic to speak with you, to learn something different and new to me about the college experience, but also that reminded me of my previous business and all the wonderful students I worked with. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. Enjoyed it. Thanks.